Hello everybody. So in pursuit of the stupidest spell in League of Legends, Max Health Yuumi, where we are gonna look at items and runes to see how much HP we can get out of this cat. Somebody suggested to go full HP Yuumi, but as I always do, I prefer to look at the numbers before we go into a game. So I've made a whole PowerPoint to present how we get to the max health Yuumi. Luckily, it's really easy to wrap your head around. No special math, just everything adds additively. So that should be simple. And then we have some goals I've put up. So we are gonna go up little by little. First trying to beat a Nami and HP, then a Sion, all the way up to Sion and Cho'gath, and see how far we can get. So how do I set baselines? I take 3 games that I've just found randomly on YouTube. All the links are here in the PowerPoint. I'll see if there's a way of me to sharing this so you can all go in and find the games, or else you can just, skip around the video and look up these titles or YouTube the channels. So looking at the 3 levels, we went to where they were level 1, level 6, level 11 and 16, and took the average health amount over the 3 games, and that's the health we are gonna assume is the average. So our first target, here we do it with the Nami, took the 3 games here. I tried my best to take a random video, a YouTuber making some kind of video, and then a competitive game. I thought that was a pretty decent measurement. Does have its issues, but for our purposes it's more than fine. So none of these 3 games actually got 16, so we don't have that for Nami, but that's fine. Nami is pretty close to Yuumi anyways, so we're just using her as an example of how we're gonna do this. So how do we compare? I'm gonna compare it by looking at the here we have a list of how much level XP you need to get to each level from the League of Legends wiki, and then we use the op.gg's list for each game, but to see how much XP we have at a current timestamp, and use that to determine how much gold we had at that time. But I looked at this and I realized that 12,410 is less than 14,700. I can't really show my mouse, so I can't really point for you, so I'm just pointing with my hand. If you look at the bottom of the table at the right, you'll see that even though we were level 16 in this game, the XP amount was lower, so this was wrong. It turned out that, so I made a table manually where I went through inside the game and just counted. I found out that if you look now at the graph at the right, it's XP over time. What we had here was gold acquired per champion, so I used way too long to make that my own table. Sorry, wrong way. For no reason. There was literally no reason to do this. That was a waste of time. I just want to share that I've been stupid. But yeah. So I took to 4 different random games where I was top laner as Yuumi. I just realized that I forgot this yesterday and made a calculation that might not make as much sense, but doesn't matter. I don't care about how you feel. I played top Yuumi anyways. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so here I've just taken the average goal amount for all 4 games. I've listed them here, and then as you see here, we have then made that the average of all those 4, and that's what I'm gonna assume we have available at each of these 4 levels. So let's get into the build. Nami stats compared to... Oh, sorry, this is the Yuumi stats. That's the wrong stats. This is that average. I was supposed to use the baseline, but don't worry about it, just an example, so it doesn't really matter. What you see here is a difference of 61 HP at level 1. That's just what we're gonna do here. So yeah, here I actually ran into an issue where they did disagree. So if you look at the base Yuumi health of 500 and its growth coefficient of 69, so at each level you should get 69 HP apparently. If you look at the stats of the champion itself and go to level 2, I have marked it out with the R here, but it should be simple since it's 550. It must be level 2. You'll see that there is quite a significant difference in the growth coefficient on those two. So yeah, I went in and did this manually instead. Yeah. So just it ended up accepting that, because you see at level 16, basically what I'm trying to show here is that at level 18 there is a whole HP of difference. On the website it thinks you are 1 health below, and this is the one that is the that has less, so it just doesn't really equate to one another. So yeah, we did that manually, but don't worry about it, I figured it out. Just be aware of it. League of Legends wiki is pretty outdated at that point. I think I found sites that is like 3 years ago, less has been updated or something. If it was free labor, I would maybe want to help. Maybe at some point in the future. But yeah, reminder of the Nami stats, and here we have the average gold for. Yeah, I was in my head thinking health because, you know, Yuumi has 500 of base health. Never mind. But yeah, average gold and then the Nami items. So here on the left, I have listed the health items that cost less than 500. I've marked out the beads since it actually only gives health regen. Don't worry about that. And then on the right, I've marked out all the items that gives less than 81 HP, because we're looking for 8. You know, when you have the shark mouth, you read it from left to right, so you say more than 81. Because, you know, it gets smaller towards 81, so bigger than 81. I hope that makes sense. Comparatively to the 500 goal I've written less than 500 because it gets bigger. I hope that helps in some way. So yeah, so we can see that from this that we have 4 items we can choose between that fits the goal amount we have available, as well as gives us enough HP to get above this 81 health threshold. So thereby we only need one of these 4 items to have higher HP than Nami, and that's basically what we're gonna do for all the champions. So let's go down to the first real contender, Lee Sin, our second tag. Taking across these 4 games, this is his stats. Here we have the Yuumi base stats versus the Lee Sin stats, giving us this HP difference table. Now I'll be using this. I've listed them all so we can see 4 different thresholds. So yeah, as you see, health items, gold on the left, and items on the right, HP amounts on the right. So first, 500 gold. We still only have 500 gold at the start of the game, but now we have 145 HP we need to beat. So even though we have all the same items available, looking at the gold, I really need a cursor. Okay, I'll have to do that for next time. We only have the ruby crystal giving us enough HP to actually exceed the health amount of... Oh, sorry, I'm just dying here. We only have the ruby crystal that gives us enough HP. So our build at the start of the game versus the Lee Sin, in this case, is building a ruby crystal for 400 gold, giving us a 100 gold to spare, and we'll have 5 HP more than Lee Sin at the start of the game. Then at level 6, he's now at 337 HP, while we need 337 HP to get above, but we now have an gold amount of 2,400 gold. So again, I've cursed out all the gold on the picture because I didn't want to cut the picture. That has more, that costs more than our threshold. And on the right, I have done a really bad job of trying to write all the numbers on them. I don't know if you think that's readable, but like I've just removed the last 0 of all the numbers. So 20 is 200 HP, 30 is 300 HP, and so on and so forth. With the support items there, where you with the that is kind of weirdly written on. That's just because they all give 200, so I've just done that instead. I hope that's readable. So in this case, we need an item that costs less than 2400 and gives us 350 HP, because you don't really get item that gives you 340, in case you didn't realize that. So here the simplest item we can get is this I actually don't know what it's called. I don't recall. Something, the crystal of Iron or something, I believe. But with that item, we actually only need 1300 gold, and we're gonna have 1100 gold to spare, as well as being already 13 HP over the threshold of Lee Sin. But we're gonna have 13 HP more than Lee Sin, I should say. So now, at level 11, we have 911 HP we have to get, but now our gold threshold is at 6181. Surprisingly even, if you ask me, but because again, average across 3 games. Here we see a big list of the rest of the items. Like, I've just cut out the things we have already seen. And again, I've written all the numbers on them. This took way too long, and it's not really useful because it's not really readable. But the important part is that we building further on the crystal of Aaron, we get Rod of Ages. I'm not making these chronological, but you can basically look at it the same way. It doesn't really change anything. So Rod of Ages, which gives us 400 HP, but if we rush it, we are gonna have, after 10 minutes, it's going to actually give us 200 bonus HP, so that's why it's 600 HP. Plus with the heart heals 900 HP, that gives space for a 1500 HP collective, which is higher than 911, thereby putting us 580 HP above Lee Sin, with actually still 581 gold to spare. Just making sure 2000 plus 3000, that's 5,000. Yeah, 5,600. Yeah, that makes sense. 581 gold to spare. Sorry, I had issues with that yesterday. Then last on the threshold, we now need 1305 gold, HP, but we now have 1208. Numbers are hard. 12,101 gold. But as you might have realized, we actually don't need to buy anything new, so this build is still works. You actually already beat him at level 11. We already have more health than a Lee Sin at level 16. Okay, and the third target, Viego. Again, average across these games, taking the averages to get the health minusing them, getting the health difference, and we starting off 136, and that's actually lower than Lee Sin, so we already have works for that. Again, 308, still less HP than Sin, so we already have something that for that. And 937.67, that's actually more HP than Lee Sin, but as you will probably notice, we still have more HP than that. So yes, we just reused the build and we still have more HP. 563 HP more to be exact. But at level 16, he does actually hit a pretty significant jump to 1794 HP. So that's actually more than Viego and more than we have built for so far. So with the increased wage of 1200, 161 gold, we now can also throw on top of the other two items a Barmy Cinders, I believe it's called, for another 300 HP, which makes up the gap of the 300 we were missing. So now we are 6 HP above, with 5,561 gold to spare. Kassadin. So taking a averages 3 games, getting the HP differences to Yuumi base stats, and here we are. So now we are at the point where the base health is actually so high, 204.33 you see at the start of games, because people start with different runes, which probably shovels this a bit. In this case, there is actually no items we can buy on top of the ruby crystal to make up this difference. So I have taken the health rune, I don't know what else to call it, the health rune to give us a starting 60 bonus HP, which we actually then use to get a buff by a smidge. So now we are on 210 HP above. Sorry, we are 5 HP above. I'm so sorry, this is too early, but I had to get this done. I couldn't do it yesterday when I was about to fall asleep. So now we have 5 HP with this rune and still a ruby crystal above Kassadin at level 1, with still the 100 gold to spare. Again, at level 6, we are now at a point where, again, we need to add something else with the spare gold we had to actually get above the Kassadin. 539 HP difference. Here I would suggest adding the crystal, I forgot its name, for 800 gold, leaving us with 300 gold to spare, and we are going to be 70 HP above with the bonus 200 HP from this item. You can also add the belt, which probably would make more sense in that then we get to this where belt actually builds into heartsteel while the crystal doesn't, and it gives more HP. I just took whatever was closest, basically. Like how cheap could we go while going above in HP? That's all I did. But yeah, to continue actually having enough HP, you should probably build the belt if you actually want an actual build order. That's all. So at level 11, 1201 HP. So now we are actually already above the 1000 health threshold before even hitting level 16. So here we can still actually build the same 2 items, because 1500 is a whole lot of HP apparently to have laying around, and that's again with the Rod of Ages bonus HP to 200 bonus HP for 600, and the Heartsteel 900 HP 1500, putting us 300 HP above. So to be clear, even if you don't hit the Rod of Ages bonus, like 10 minutes bonus at this point, oh yeah, in case you don't know what Rod of Ages does, every minute you gain bonus stats, and that is that's I guess 10 HP, because then after 10 minutes, 20 HP, because after then 10 minutes you get you have the full bonus. You have 10 stacks, that is the maximum. That gives you 200 bonus HP. Hope that makes sense. Basically, even if you just bought Rod of Ages and Heartsteel at the same time for some reason, you still have more than enough HP to surpass them by, that's gonna be 363 HP at level 11, with our 581 gold to spare as always. And now we get close to the 2000 threshold, but we see that the Barmy Cinder with the 300 HP actually get pretty close, but we are actually still going to be 128 health off. So what we are assuming here is in the time gap between level 11 and level 16, you're gonna be able to stack Heartsteel enough times that you get enough HP to surpass Kassadin. So I should probably also just describe Heartsteel really quick. Heartsteel, when you're close to an enemy, it stacks up. When it has full stacks, you can attack an enemy once every 30 seconds to get bonus HP equal to the damage dealt. Damage being bonus damage from the Heartsteel of 100 physical damage, I think it was, plus 10% of your bonus health. Basically, the more health you have at this point, the easier it is to hit the threshold, so that should be no issue. For example, this number 28 comes from when I was level 11. I tested this in practice tool. 28 was the amount of health you got per hit at level 11 with a full stacked Rod of Ages. So at level 16, you definitely have gotten far beyond this 128 bonus HP. Just wanted to clarify this. So yeah, at this point you should already have more than enough health, and again we have our 5,561 gold to spare. So now it actually doesn't seem as unrealistic, if you ask me. Like when I started this, Sion and Cho'gath seemed so wildly impossible, but seeing we're already above Chasm by quite a mile with so much gold to spare made me pretty confident that we have a chance at getting to Sion's averages. Again, 3 HPs, and I would even say that this is actually kind of skewed upwards in that this is 2 YouTubers, one of them literally going for at 9,000 plus HP belt. So I actually think it should be lower, these averages, but regardless, HP differences. 204.33 is actually the exact same as we got from the Kassadin, so the same with the health rune is enough. As I said before, belt or the crystal should be fine. In this case though, the crystal wouldn't work. Now we need the belt to be above the 713 by a smidge of the 47 HP. Now also count the rune with 47 HP above Sion at level 6 with 200 gold to spare. And now we get to the really hard part. At level 11, Sion basically has enough health to basically has the same amount of health as Kassadin has at level 16. So here we had to be a bit more creative. So we're switching the base health rune out with the increasing one. There's 2 versions, one that gives you more HP as the game goes on. This one gives you 10 HP for each minute of the game, basically. So at this point it gives 110 HP, that is necessary. We are still expecting the Heartsteel now to have given you 100 bonus health in the time you've had it. It's 30 HP if it on a 30-second cooldown value with grows 3 stacks. With max health, it should stack more than 28 health. So I think that's pretty realistic. If you're at discreet, that's totally understandable. And then the rest of the HP I expect to come from the grasp. I've done 0 calculation on the grasp, but considering how it works and if you're top lane, as a ranged champion, it should be really easy to stack. So 111 HP expected from grasp. So to give us 1821 HP, and minusing that with the 1820 from the average from the health difference from Sion, we are gonna be 0.33 HP above the Sion. Hopefully you can have more stacks of the Heartsteel and Grasp for a bigger difference, which I don't think is unrealistic. I just didn't want to overshoot too much. And we still have our 500 gold to spare. And now we get to 16, and now it got really stupid because he has 4,000 HP. So yeah, you can see how much he stacks over time. So what are we doing here? This got a lot more complicated. So now we are using like all our gold. We haven't done that yet. So what we do is we buy an elixir of iron that costs us 400 gold. That gives us 200 bonus health. It's only for a limited amount of time, but you can do this at level 16. And then for 500 gold, oh sorry, the 500 gold is for the Aegis, for the Atlas, the support item. That gives you 200 bonus HP. So sorry, I swapped those two around. Elixir of Iron gives you 300. Meanwhile, the Atlas gives you 200 HP. I've just written them opposite because I didn't have room for all my items and runes here. So then we also have now the wait, what's it called? The hand. You see the hand to the left? I'm still pointing with my hands, but the hand at the left, that one gives you 650 HP for 2,500 gold. And then we also have a Warmax now for 750 HP for 3,100 gold. Then we still have our Aegis, our Rod of Aegis and Heartsteel for 2,600 and 3,000 gold each. That gives us the bonus HP of 3,971 HP. I have, let me see, and we have now scaled up the Heartsteel stacks to 100 more from level 11 to 16 again. I believe that to be a big understatement. I also forgot to actually do the minus part of this equation, but yeah, never mind. So yeah, we expect a 100 HP bonus from 11 to 16, and 100 bonus HP on the grass stacks from 11 to 16. That one I'm less sure about, since laning phase is probably done at this point in the game. And yeah, that puts us about 32 and a half, I believe, HP above Sion at level 16. So this is actually doable. Somehow, I really did not expect us to get here. So Cho'gath, I did make this just to realize that actually in an average game, Cho'gath actually doesn't have 10,000 HP. That's just the highlights. He actually has less health than Sion on average, at least on the free games. Again, free games is a really little sample size, but so yeah, I even made this slide of that's not gonna happen, since I thought he would have like stupid amounts of HP, but that's just not the case. He actually has less. So the same build, and you'll have more HP than anybody else that doesn't build full HP, I guess, on that champion. So yeah, that's full HP and Yuumi. GG's, well played.